Okay, so I've been working on some of these N64 boards that Jared sent over, and this one I can't really test because it doesn't have an AV port on the back, but I could actually use the scope to see for a video signal. So pin number, if I zoom in here, this pin here is supposed to be the composite video. So let me turn on the console. I turn it on, and then I'll hit that pin there, and I actually don't have any activity on it. It goes high, or whatever that is, like a distortion. That's not proper. So there's something wrong with this console. I mean, let me see, zoom in, pin 2. And I've been trying to adjust to see if I can see it. Obviously now with, wrong way. Should go the opposite way. See if I go here. Yeah, I just get that. That's not a proper video signal. So I'm gonna check the board over for any damage traces or to see what I can see. So I'll get back to you in a second. Okay, so I've been looking over the board visually, and it seems like there's little spots here and there. I'll zoom in a second, where you can see like some like rust or corrosion. But I've been probing around and I don't see any breaks. Even though the traces look bad, I don't actually see any breaks. But let me zoom in. So for instance, in this spot here, you can see, let me get a pointer tool. So in this spot here, looks a little corroded. I could always, if I get this board up and running, I could always add some UV paint and cover that up. But that's all seems to be okay. Over here, I don't know if the camera can pick up some of that, but some of these pins over here look a little dark. But once again, I probed and everything seems to be okay. Now here, I pop that off. Here it seems to be a little dark too in this corner. And if I get a multimeter, I'm gonna try to I haven't probed this side yet. I did probe this side. Everything seems to be okay. And on here there's a little break, not a break, but the solder mask has come up. I could also cover that if I get this board working. Over there on the top of the chip doesn't look too bad. Sides of the chip don't look too bad. And then let me pop this off. Okay, so this is a double RAM board. Everything here seems to be in order. It's a little dark over here in these. I could test for continuity there. Doesn't look too bad. It looks bad, but it doesn't look like it wouldn't function. I'll double check that. These little chips, everything seems to be okay. Yep, everything seems to be okay. So I think I'm gonna test for continuity around here, see if I got a break. Okay, so with the multimeter, I gotta test for set for continuity, and as you can see, I touch it and it beeps. So I know this pin, the third one from the left, goes all the way up to like here, I believe, or where is it? It goes from, let me probe the actual top of the pin. It goes to somewhere here, I believe here. Where does it go? It might be a break, or is it over here somewhere? Okay, it goes there. So for some reason I couldn't find it before. Third pin. It looks dark, but it goes right there. Now this fourth pin, probe that. Now I know it should go up here somewhere for sure. I've tested I've checked another board, and I know it goes into one of these pins. I don't know exactly where, because this little white solder paint they put here, the surface paint they put here, covers it. So I gotta just cross-reference with a working board and see if that's a break. 1 second. Okay, so I got a board that was also sent over, and it seems to be working. It needs a controller port, but I'm not gonna put the controller port on it right just yet, so I can remove this. So the 4th pin on this board, I just want the 4th pin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 should go here somewhere. So pin 2. Yeah, 4th pin goes to pin 2 of this IC. This is a RCP. So let me fix the break on the other board and see if that helps. In fact, let me move this out of the way. Let's see, how am I gonna do this? Okay, so let's pull this heat sink off, and now we could work right there in that corner. The 4th pin is the one in question. So let me zoom in a little bit more. Well, of course, my camera doesn't work. Okay, we're about as close as I can get. So with a pair of tweezers, see if I can scratch up some of this stuff. And with a little bit of alcohol and a toothbrush, let's clean this off. In fact, I can see if the break is there directly from the trace to the chip leg. Let me test with continuity again. Let's see. So we got a little bit of trace exposed, and nope, we don't have anything. So we do have a break here. So is that the only fault on this board? I mean, how would you even see that? That was like pure luck seeing that. What I could do is I could use a piece of Kynar to solder to the top of the pin and just bridge it over to the other side. Or I could just try to just reconstitute that little break in the between the chip and the trace. I mean, yeah, the pin leg and the chip leg and the trace. That's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna try to just solder this there. Seems like more of a neater job doing it like that. All right. Lay some flux down. So I'll clean this up a bit. So shiny I can't see. Put some more flux. Okay, let's try this. Change the tip on my iron to this one. Seems like it did the trick. I could cut it with the flush cuts, but I don't want to do that. I want to kind of like test the integrity of the joint. If it breaks, that means I didn't do a good job. Come on. Okay. Now let's test for continuity. Wow, that tip is, I'm getting used to using this angled tip. It actually works really well. That was easier than the knife edge for that job. I actually like that tip for that job at least. Okay, let me clean the flux. Okay, so this little piece hanging off the trace, I could actually try to break that off too. There we go. It's not so bad. Alright, let's test for continuity. The fourth pin here. Alright, so we have continuity now. So let's test, see if we get a video signal. Okay, with everything connected up, I got the brake is right there. I just patched it up. I reassembled everything. Let's see, I still don't have a port, so I don't know if it's working yet. So I'll turn it on and I'll hit, once again, I'll hit pin number, this one here, the second one on the bottom row, and it looks like it did the trick. We're getting a video signal. I mean, it's jumping around, but I can just make out the color burst signal and a lot of activity. So I think that did the trick. Let me put an AV port on there and see if it's working, but I know for a fact it was not working before. Even without the AV port, I know for a fact it wasn't working. So yeah, let me put that on there. Okay, so this was one of the boards that was also sent, and it looks super clean, but I don't see anything wrong. And this late revision, at least the 06, I can't find a schematic on, to, help troubleshoot it. So if I'm gonna actually take the AV port off this and put it on the other board, and then if I need to replace the AV port, then I'll replace a later date. But for now, I need it. Okay, so it won't break free. Let me just resolder it and then desolder it again. Okay, that one looks better. As you can see, no broken traces, and it just came right out. Okay, so here's the board I'm working on. Let me pull this off. And let's see if we could fit this here. And it went in. Turn it over. Solder that in. I know that wasn't pretty, but just needed to hold it in place. I could come across. Oh, I'm not centered. Okay. It's a ground plane there. It's a little tougher to solder. Flip this around. Let's see what it looks like on this side. Okay. Let's clean it up. Okay, so here's the one I've been working on. A little update, I did the little trace bodge there. I still have to put some UV paint on it, but I just added the AV port. So let's test it out. Yeah, it seems to be working. Has sound and everything. So it's just one little break that'll cause, no signal. So yeah, that's one. So I connected a controller and I got into the game already, and it seems to be working. So let me put some okay, let me shut you off. Okay, so let me put some UV paint on it and then I can end this video. Okay, so over here in this section here, it's a little brown. So before I actually put the UV mask, I just want to reflow that a bit, just to, get some impurities out of there. And my soldering iron is unplugged. Okay, so let's just put some more solder, and start just reflowing everything over in this section. And before I put the UV paint, I will double test everything to make sure it's working, because I don't want to put the UV mask over and then all of a sudden something doesn't work properly. Looks a little sloppy, but it's just because it's dirty. Let me clean it up real quick. Looks better. I'll make sure there's no shorts and everything still works, and I'll get back to you. I'm gonna test it off camera. Okay, so now I'm gonna put some UV paint. Let's see if I can get this bottle open. Okay. I'm gonna put some on the tip of the sponge and then just dab it on. Okay, that's good. So just get some in there. Where's the, some more. Just so that won't corrode any further. We got some exposed copper here. I'll put some paint on that too. Okay, and our trace that we bodged earlier. Let's put some here. Just because that was slightly exposed, so that should protect it a bit more. And I don't see any more. Well, there's actually a little baby spot here. See if I could get that on camera. It's right here. Okay. It's not so bad. Alright, let me zoom out. Okay, and now, and I have a UV light. Ooh. So with the UV light, I'm just going to cure all these sections here, and I'll get back to you at the end of the video. Okay, so I got everything hooked up. I got the solder paint there. Let's see if I can show you a little better. Actually cured really nicely this time. This side you can't really see. It's over there. And then the other bit is on the back of the cartridge. You can't really see it. The heat sink's in the way. But yeah, I say this console came out rather nice, rather good. I didn't think I was going to be able to fix it, to be fair. Because sometimes N64 I don't really have that much success with, so that was pretty much a lucky shot that there would happen to be one broken trace. Other than that, yep, I don't have a case for it. I don't have the heatsink that goes over it, so it's just a board for now till I get something to fit this in. But yep, that's it for this video.